This video, we're going to calculate the time of free fall using velocity or distance data. So remember, when they talk about free fall, that means we're interested in one of these two equations because g is the acceleration due to gravity, and that's going to be true for any falling object. So this equation, we're going to write them up here so we have them handy. V equals g times t, or the other option includes distance, which is 1/2 gt squared. And remember that g is 10. That's a constant that you'll have to remember for all of these problems. So now we're going to read the problem. If an object in free fall has reached a speed of 40 meters per second, for how long has it been in free fall? So they're giving us a speed, which is a v. And if you look at our choices of equation, only the first one, v equals g times t, is given that has a velocity in it. So we're going to need to use that one. So when the speed is 40, we're going to plug that in for the v, the speed, equals g is always 10, and we're trying to solve for time. For how long has it been in free fall? So all we're going to do is divide both sides by 10. 40 divided by 10 is 4. So the object has been in free fall for 4 seconds if it has reached a speed of 40 meters per second. 26. If an object has fallen for 500 meters, that is a distance. 500 meters. They want to know how long has it been in free fall. They're looking for a time. So we're going to use the equation that has distance in it. So we're going to use distance equals 1/2 gt squared. Our distance is 500. So I'm going to plug that in for the distance, 1/2 times 10, and I'm going to solve for the t. Don't forget that it's squared. So if I rewrite this, 1/2 times 10 is 5. So if I rewrite it over here, 500 equals 5t squared. So now I need to divide by 5 both sides to get rid of the 5. 500 divided by 5 is 100, so 100 equals t squared. If you've forgotten, you maybe need to know this, but how do you find the t if you have t squared? You have to do something called take the square root. If I take the square root of t squared, I get t. But I have to do this to both sides because it's an equation. I got to treat it equally. So the square root of t squared is t. The square root of 100 is 10. So it's been in free fall for 10 seconds if it fell 500 meters. The next problem, if an object in free fall has reached a speed of 60 meters per second. So that is a v. For how long has it been in free fall? We are looking for time. So we're going to need the equation that has both v and g and t in it. So we're going to use this one. V equals g times t. The speed is 60, so I'm going to plug it in for v. G is 10, and the time is what I'm solving for. So I'm going to divide both sides by 10. 60 divided by 10 is 6, so my time is 6 seconds. The last one, if an object has fallen for 10,000 meters, for how long has it been in free fall? This is a distance. I'm looking for a time. So I'm going to use this equation, the one with the distance in it. Distance is 1/2 gt squared. So I'm going to take my distance of 10,000 meters, and I'm going to plug it in for d. 1/2 times 10 times t squared. I'm going to multiply 1/2 times 10 and get 5. So 10,000 equals 5t squared. Divide both sides by 5. Get rid of the 5 over here. 5 goes into 10 twice and add the 3 zeros. So that turns out to be 2,000 equals t squared. Then what I have to do is take the square root of both sides. So if I take 2,000 and take the square root of it, whoops, I did that wrong. So with this calculator, I go second function, square root, take 2,000, and I end up getting 44.7. So the time, it would fall for about 44.7 seconds if I drop it from 10,000 meters.